So here's what I say here. Set at 76 foot-pounds, torque 1, and if it will fit, and everything, the car key is okay, move on next one, will not fit. Increase the torque wrench to 83 foot-pounds, and then you have to either change the...
What?
All right, take her up a little bit.
Take her up a little bit!
Years ago, they said, well, you only got to change 4 engines. Well, we used to change an engine in 2 or 3 days. Well, it just don't go together that easy.
It's the preparation that takes all the time. The actual hanging of the engine is lining up 6 bolts on the mount and putting nuts on them. Putting on the generators and putting on the starter and the carburetor. And the first one was the hardest, and the second one was a little easier. This one went perfect, and hopefully our last one will be the same way. Prop governor, these lines that we're snaking through here, all the spark plugs got to be put in, all the exhaust has got to be put on. She has, she's been in retirement basically since 2004, and I'm working very hard to bring her out of retirement, and she's resisting. Everything we can do here on the ground makes it easier for when we get up there.
I mean, the old engines, they were a bear when it was cold. I mean, during the war, when they operated these things in Greenland and Thule and Alaska, they had they really had to heat them up pretty good to get them started.
Our last engine that we had rebuilt, that was an original B-29 engine, gave us 6.6 hours, and it started making metal. So that's when the decision was made to re-engine. To go to a later model 3350 gave us extreme reliability.
Basically a 3350 engine, but it's completely different, and we're fabricating hoses, we're fabricating tubing, we're fabricating cables, and just fabricating an awful lot of different things.
I believe, from what I have read, they'll probably be a little more powerful. I mean, a little more powerful. They say she should really move out and climb well.
This ring has to be installed. So we pull the carburetor off, put the ring on, put the carburetor back on, then put the rest of the accessories on.
The exhaust system's completely different, the hoses, connections, the mounts, and it's all different.
Some people say, well, all you have to do is change an engine. All you have to do is hang an engine. Well, it's much, much more than that. And we're doing this with an engine that's never been on this airplane before. So it's involved. It's very involved.
I mean, the old engine, you just pull it off and put another one in there. And in the military, they had engine change crews. They'd come out there on one on a stand, and they'd have it up there in a couple of hours. Of course, that's all they did.
Performance-wise, these engines will perform better, more reliably than anything that's ever been on a B-29.
You know, you have to put all your accessories on it. You have to put all your inner cowlings, all your hosings, and everything that had to be done in the engine cell itself, and the wiring changes and things like that to accommodate this new engine.
I guess the thing is that we need to develop some younger people to kind of take over.
We always need volunteers, especially of our squadron members or whatever. There is always a job for somebody. It went very good yesterday, very smooth. I mean, we were all very happy with the way that engine went up there. It went up there good.
we're starting to gain some real experience in putting these things together. There's some real differences between the old engines and the new, so we have to do a number of modifications. They're minor, but there's a lot of minor modifications that have to be done. Electrical and plumbing are the two major things that have to be done.
Well, the come-along that was used with the hoisting the engine up to the wing of the aircraft, the dehydro of the wing causes the engines to be cocked at a slight angle. The engines are not horizontal to the ground, they're horizontal to the aircraft wing. It's went on fairly well, straightforward. We had everything right before we put it up there and had it at the right angle, and everything seemed to work pretty well.
I swore over 50 years ago I'd never turn another wrench on one of these greasy old things, and here I am.
We're about 10 weeks out right now from first flight. It couldn't have gone smoother. I was very pleased. It went right on. Nothing could have been better. Nothing could have gone better. So I was very pleased.
It's a monument. It's a history lesson. It's something that we can present to future generations, and hopefully she'll be flying for many, many decades to come.